not taking their gun away at all. You need 100 rounds. I did not say that. That's not true. I did not say that. I'm not worried.
So much.
Okay, let me give you some context if you missed that moment. Joe Biden was confronted by a person at one of his events that he was obviously making his pitch to, who accused him of wanting to take his guns away. Joe Biden got to the straight talk real quick, said, "You're full of bleep," and they went at it. And I would posit, David Jelly, I'm coming to you because you're the statesman at the table. No offense to the rest of you. You know, let's not be precious. Whoever wins the Democratic primary will run against a man who writes checks to keep affairs with porn stars secret. Let's not be precious. If that's how you have to defend yourself from it, it's not true. Joe Biden actually doesn't have Beto O'Rourke's position, which is what the auto worker said, which was for some sort of, I'm not even sure that Beto has this position, but this idea of some confiscation of some weapons.
Yeah, look, whether or not the auto worker was full of it or the party narrative that has informed that auto worker is full of it might be a nuance. But I think what Joe Biden was speaking to is the Republican Party has miscast the Democratic position as though they want to destroy the Second Amendment. And that is not the case. What the Democratic Party position is on guns, and I say this as a Republican who got some things wrong on guns and then tried to make up for it when I was in office and certainly past office. The Second Amendment is a fundamental right, but it is not an absolute right. And the talking point of conservatives and Republicans and Fox News is that Democrats want to take their guns. That is not the case. Democrats recognize it is a fundamental right that is not beyond the reach of regulation, and that the idea of weapons of war needs to be addressed as something that should be as difficult to get a weapon of war as it is to get a security clearance if you can get it at all. It is reasonable to expect background checks for every single purchase, I would say even for among family members. And when this auto worker confronted Joe Biden reacted in a very personal and human way, saying, I'm not trying to take your gun. What I'm trying to do is make the community around you safer for your family and your kids and your parents and your brothers and your sisters. And that is the Democratic position that the Republicans have miscast and are wrong, and they're wrong for the sake of history in this moment. And if there's a singular issue that we often lose sight of, but for moments of national tragedy, it is the issue of guns. And if this is the moment, the confrontation that allows us to have that debate again, good for Joe Biden in that moment.
Eddie.
Well, look, I mean, I would like to see that kind of fire in response to the Trump campaign and Hunter Biden. That would be nice to see that kind of fire at that moment.
Great point.
Look, there's going to be a debate. The one thing I didn't like about what he said, David, was, you know, if you want 100 rounds, you can have it, right? And some of us in the Democratic Party,
and I missed that. I would disagree.
You know, if you want 100
that.
rounds, right? So there's a debate to be had, and it seems to me at that moment, right, given the fact that we have a generation of Americans who have come of age in the age of mass shootings, we have to be very, very careful how we navigate that.
Karine.
I was just going to say that the news cycle moves so fast that we're not even going to remember this video.
I know. I didn't want to let it get away, though.
But look, I think I agree. People want a fighter. We see that over and over again. They want someone who can take it to Trump, who is going to fight for them, who can win. And when you see that from Joe Biden, it gives you that imagination. It gives you, okay, how will Joe Biden be on stage with Donald Trump? How will he react? But I agree. I want to see more of that.